My biggest idol growing up is Batman. He was my role model, someone I wanted to be, and my understanding of Batman mainly came from the Batman animated series, Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited, as well as the Nolan Batman movies. I wanted to be like him because when I was a kid he just looked cool. He was really stoic and very mysterious. As I began to understand Batman as a character more, it really showed me the depth of this character and inspired me to adopt a lot of his habits and values. One of the biggest things I learned from Batman is that you have nothing to prove. As a kid, I always wanted Batman to reveal his true identity so people could actually recognize his achievements. To prove that he wasn't just a rich kid with issues. To prove that he was something greater, so that he could shut up the haters. I always felt that it would be a waste if nobody ever knew that Batman was Bruce Wayne. But as I thought more, I remembered that it was always expressed that Bruce Wayne was the mask for Batman instead of the other way around. This is because that his actual morals and values were much more aligned with Batman compared to Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne was just something and someone he pretended to be. Batman just really cared about his community, and that was what he only focused on. He didn't need recognition. He didn't do all of the things he did so that people could praise him. He did it because he genuinely cared about his community. I feel like a lot of heroes needs to be worshipped. Even today, a lot of figures needs to be viewed in a way such that they are a positive character, person, or such that they appear as the hero. But Batman, as in The Dark Knight, was willing to be the villain. He was willing to tarnish his own name as Batman in order to achieve the greater good. I try to take this with me to show myself that I have nothing to prove. That the end goal is the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter what people think of you in any sort of way. It doesn't matter if people wrongly interpret you as some sort of weirdo or different guy. Another thing about Batman is that he has handled his own desires very well, even if it is through suppression. Compared with James Bond, who would eliminate bad guys, sleep with attractive women, and live that lifestyle, Batman had a more Buddhist approach, I would say. Batman wouldn't kill, even sometimes when it was more beneficial, even if he would have gotten away with it. Batman could have got with Wonder Woman in the Justice League cartoons, as I remember, but he would always refrain from it. Batman was someone who would completely suppress many of his desires. Even though he was human, he would fight against his own human nature and embrace a life of suffering. Sometimes it would seem almost too stubborn, or that he was religious in some way. which only goes to show how strong his morals and values are. Batman was also a very careful person. It's easy to be arrogant when you are strong. It's easy to place complete trust in the people you care and love. But he would almost never let that get to him. He would draw a very fine line between trust and contingency, but not in a distrustful way, which is hard to explain. I say this because of his contingency plans against other members of the Justice League, his comrades and friends. He knew that to them it was a breach of trust. But Batman didn't see it the same way. He knew that betrayal could always happen, because sometimes people change, or that betrayal wasn't their intention, but the outcome was something like that of a betrayal. So he wasn't bounded by such an idea as complete trust. I learned that even with the people you really care about, love and trust is contingent on certain conditions, which ensures trust and security in the long run. Batman would also hold himself accountable to recognize his own weakness, not to have complete trust in himself, which means that trust is also contingent on certain conditions, even with himself. You cannot trust yourself completely. Batman really shaped a lot of my values and morals. Sometimes when I'm confused or lost, I would pose myself the question, what would Batman do in this situation? For those listening, you may have your own idol and role model, because they are people you align with in terms of moral and values. And whenever you're confused, making a choice, or at a crossroads, you could simply ask yourself the question, what would your idol do in the same position?